Hello, hello. Welcome everyone. As I spin, I'm so excited about these pathways to profits. I'm spinning around, y'all. Welcome to another live episode of the Kizzy Shopping Network. So, I have a different setup for each and every one of you today. So, let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure that you can hear me. You're with me. My name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, and I've won well over $70 million in federal government contracts. And you're probably wondering, first and foremost, why does it look like I have some 1980s set up on my camera? Well, this is what happens when you just need to buy a new camera. So I appreciate every single one of you for being here. And I know it has this weird setup. I'm pretty confident this will be the last thing I ever videotape that I ever record on this camera. And in case you're wondering what the beautiful pink is, it is the sunset. It is absolutely gorgeous. The sun is setting. It's not completely set, but it's gorgeous here in Western Michigan. So we're talking about pathways to profits. So today, doing something a little different, y'all. I have a big ticket item for you. It's $5,000. So these are for the people out there that are like, hey, I definitely know that I want more, especially help around proposals, proposal writing. How do I really understand all of these things that I'm seeing online? I don't understand all these documents. Please help me. So it's called Pathways to Profits. And I'm going to share the link with you all here in just 1 second. And hello to everyone who's watching live and to all of those watching the replay. And again, thank you for being patient with my camera setup, because y'all know before we know it, I will have an entire camera crew handling all of this. Y'all know this. So if you have questions for me this evening, now is the time to get those ready. Now is the time. This is the time to get those questions ready and start dropping them in the chat. If you have questions, any and all questions about federal government contracting, being an entrepreneur, now is the time. So as I'm pulling this up, pathways to profits. So you're going to get pre-recorded content, and you're going to get a minimum of 2 live calls with my team. You're going to get proposal templates. You're going to get information on how you go about responding. Because one of the things that I get asked all of the time, Kizzy, can you sell me a proposal template? Okay. I mean, we sell those, but then what do you do with the next? Because every single opportunity requires a unique response. It just does. And even though it may not seem like it, it does. And I have a great example for you all here. So take staffing, right? I'm putting this in here, pathways to profit. So for instance, with staffing, thank you so much, everything by John. And I'm putting this in here. It's not allowing me to put it in here. Well, that's okay. We'll have to figure it out. I'll have to do a shorter link, which I think I do have. So that's okay. It's like, no, you can't have this long checkout link here on your Stripe account, but that is fine. So in the interim, I'm going to put the link here for my book in case you haven't picked up a copy yet. And that is winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com, where I outline all the steps that you need to take to find, bid, and win profitable government contracts. It's much faster than doing it on your own. And by you purchasing a copy today, you get all kinds of free bonuses. And so once it's released, you're not going to get these free bonuses. And I will have the link for you in a second. And that's okay, because even if for some reason I can't get you the link, send a text to 305-853-9481. 305-853-9481. Send via text winner. I'll send you the link for the Pathways to Profit $5,000 program, lifetime access to all the content, 2 group calls with my team. You get everything you need to get started. So what I really want to kick off talking about is proposal writing. So I'm asked all the time, can I have a proposal template? Yeah, we'll sell you some proposal templates. Or perhaps you already have some. Well, then what do you write? How do you respond? Do you understand evaluation criteria, or if something is rigged, or what they're really looking for? I mean, there's a gentleman that I coach, and he won an opportunity where he took the price quote that his subcontractor gave him, put his name on it, his contact information on there, and he won. So it's not always about how pretty it is or what it is. It's about, does it meet the requirement? And that's what you want to make sure that you're doing. So, okay, do you have interviews with people who are successful with micro purchases, please? So I'm going to jump in and talk about that. And thank you all. Keep the questions coming. Yeah, so, okay, these are great questions. And again, for those of you who are just joining, this is not some 1992 flashback. This is my last time with this camera. It's kind of sad. I've been many places with this camera. It was the first camera I got, and it makes me almost want to tear up. I took this thing to Italy. I bought this camera when I was married. I'm divorced, but I gained a lot of confidence with this camera. So it's time to move on. It's okay. It's okay though. So my sadness aside, check out the book, winnerswaybook.com. And I'm gonna get y'all the link here in a moment to Pathways to Profit. So micro purchases. So here's the deal. I want to make this very, very, very clear. Micro purchase just simply means like a purchase $10,000 or less. That's all it means. So are you looking, everything by John or anyone, are you looking to bid on things where you think, oh, it's $10,000 or less? So sometimes what comes to mind is Unison. Oh, okay. Maybe on Unison, there's all these micro purchases. That's not always the case. Unison has opportunities on there that are millions of dollars, and they may have things that are maybe less than $10,000. So when it comes to micro purchases, here is the deal. I base things in life on those who are doing it better than me, or who were doing it better than me at some particular time in life. Because I firmly believe when you have a mentor, let me make sure I didn't mess up my camera. Okay, great. I firmly believe when you have a mentor, the goal for the mentee is to outperform you. That's my goal for every single one of you here. This is Kizzy Shopping Network. We're talking about pathways to profits. And one of the pathways is potentially through micro purchases, which I'm talking about. My name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, in case you're just joining. And the thing is, that's what I want for you all, is to outperform me, right? Hands down, bottom line. So in terms of micro purchases, I have never come across someone who's like, Kizzy, I made all this money. I have a multi-million-dollar company because of micro purchases. Micro purchases is just simply a tool. It's all it is. It's no different than, my Rode charger here. It's just a tool. It's a tool to charge my microphones. That's all it is. That's all. That's it. So the same thing applies with government contracting. And often what happens is when you have a relationship with an agency, that's number one, how most people get micro purchases, is they know, like, and trust you, so you come to mind. Oh, hey, we have some money to spend. Can you get us some Oculus headsets? Can you get us some laptops? Can you repaint the flagpole? We're going to need some decorative bags. Can you get some of those? That's one way. The second way is often through a GSA schedule. So this is something that you apply for, you get access to, you are on. So for instance, we are on the multiple award schedule under training. the training NAICS code. That's where my flagship company is under. And we'll see everything under there, from we want a 1-day retreat to acquisition training to radical collaboration training and more. So let's take 1-day retreat. A 1-day retreat, someone may say, hey, I'll do a 1-day retreat for $3,000. I mean, making $3,000 in 1 day, that's a lot of money. I mean, even the lady right now on TikTok, you know, the non-playable character lady, y'all know who I'm talking about. I like her. Pinky. If you know her name, put her name in the chat. So she's making about $7,000 a day. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So with the federal government, they may already know, oh, there are people out there who will charge us $3,000 to provide this retreat. So in theory, is that a micro purchase? Yeah, it's a micro purchase, but it's through a certain contract vehicle that you have to apply to even get on. So it's not so much about getting micro purchases, it's about using the GovCon winners, my Kizzy Park strategy, to continuously find, bid, and win profitable contracts. You want to be able to do this where it's dependable and it's not all over the place. So let me know if that makes sense. Okay. I'm not too late. No, James, you're not late at all. Everybody, you're amazing. You're on time. We're going to go until the latest at 10. Sun is setting. It's beautiful. So don't think my place here is just full. My apartment here is just full of ring lights in Michigan. It's because it's sunny out. So let me know if that made sense. I'm going to tackle Tennessee as I got to get a short code for this checkout page. I don't know why this checkout is so weird, but I'm going to try a couple of things with you guys. I may not need to get a short code. So for those just joining, this is Kizzy Shopping Network. We're talking about pathways to profits. And I have a high ticket item today. It's $5,000. You're going to get a variety of pre-recorded videos so you know everything that it takes to find, bid, and win profitable contracts. You're going to get 2 calls with my team, 2 live calls. And I'm going to throw in some bonuses. You're going to get some work music. You're going to get all of this content on how to set up meetings with the federal government. It's amazing what you're going to get. You can also, which is less than $30, go to winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com to pre-order my book that outlines all the steps that I took to win over $70 million federal government contracts. So you have options there. And if you want something in between, don't worry, I have that for you too. Okay. So here we go. The 8A program. 8A program is one of the best ways to really grow your business. And there's a lawsuit that's going on. And so at the end of the day, I've spoken with different professionals about that. And number one, it has nothing to do with Supreme Court, has nothing to do with racism, it has nothing to do with anything of that nature. Well, okay, let me pause on the racism. It doesn't have anything to do with what you think it does. I think some people think like, oh, this is just another example of somebody trying to come in and take some programs away from us Black people or something. Like, that's not the situation at all. It's deeper than that. So it shouldn't be of concern, is the bottom line. It's not anything to concern about. Should be concerned about selling. That's the biggest concern. You should be focused on selling. It's important to know about it, and that's why I have the Kizzy News Network at least every other Thursday. I go live and talk about the news. I'll be live this Thursday. Okay, that should work, y'all. Whew. There we go. Oh my goodness, took me 20 years to get you that link. We got to pin this link. Thank you all so much for being patient with me. Okay, so the short of it is a business owner is claiming that a portion of the 8A program is in and of itself kind of biased. And so right now, it's my understanding that the SBA is revamping part of their application process. So again, I wouldn't be concerned. I would not be concerned at all. And if you are concerned, explain to me why you're concerned. Be open with me. Don't hold back. 'Cause I'm not gonna hold back to y'all. Look, I got my screens all messed up. I mean, I keep it real. I'm not here to put on airs or to lead you astray. I'm here to share from my experiences, from what I understand. And when I say people that I talk to, these are people who are paid to be even more knowledgeable about federal government and government contracting. So just be aware of that. And oh, my hair is kind of cute too with the leave-in conditioner. Okay. So I'm going to go back through the questions, make sure I didn't miss anything. Is it good to have a Gmail for the email for government contract? When you're first starting out, do what works best. If what works best for you is sc@gmail.com, by all means. When you can, take it to that next level and buy the domain. So it's, sc@sc.com or something like that. So a Gmail is perfectly fine. I like Gmail. There are some people who would say like, oh, the government, you need to have Outlook and you need to have Teams and you could, but I don't do any of that. I like Gmail. I don't have any issues with too much drama. Can you please repeat the number again? Of course I can. So this is a great number to text, join my community, 305-853-9481, 305-853-9481. If you're interested in the pathways to profits, that's $5,000, then put winner in the text. If you just want to join, just type join. And if $5,000 is not for you, that's okay. It's winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. Purpose of Kizzy Shopping Network is to provide you options of things, different training, different education that's going to help take you to the next level. That's the whole purpose of this. And if you're somebody that's like, I ain't got any kind of money, I have tons of content here for free. Oh, don't forget, y'all, like right now. Go on your phone and your computer, definitely like. So the algorithm loves that. So definitely, hit that like button, subscribe, share. I have tons of free information on my Facebook group. I'm going to drop that here too. This is great. I love multitasking with the phone. Okay, this is perfect. Because what's really important in government contracting is that you're constantly learning and then you're immediately applying what you learn. And I know some of you have even said to me, well, Kizzy, I don't think I'm ready. I haven't learned enough. Well, one of the ways to get ready is to apply what you learn. That's okay. That link is not going to work. Oh, apparently it did work. Okay, that worked. That was crazy. That worked too. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Repeat the number. Got it. Have you done anything with wide array workflow? A lot do the contracts on Unison pay through, but I'm having a lot of difficulty signing up for it. Okay. Oh, and please ask more questions. It's 9:21. Please feel free to ask more questions. I'll let everybody know that I'm live. Actually, I wonder if I can do that on here. Trying a bunch of different things tonight. I don't know how this works. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me today. I like to try different things out. Wide array workflow. This is a platform that the Department of Defense that they use to pay you. So going back to micro purchases. Micro purchases are often paid for using a government credit card. So just something to be aware of. So make sure you're able to take credit cards. In case you're hearing a sticky sound, anybody hearing that? If you are, I got the cutest, let me say it again, the cutest wannabe Dutch clog slippers because I went to the Dutch Village today in Holland. Amazing. So cute. So going back to this about wide array workflow, Unison, micropurchase, all these things. The banking information that you have in SAM.gov, that's how all of these portals, IPP, wide array workflow, there's several others out there, they pay to that banking information. To get on wide area workflow, you simply complete the application. And what's really good for you, and I'm pulling it up right now because that's how I am here on the Kizzy Network, Kizzy Shopping Network, all to help y'all out. So what's great about wide area workflow, their payment system is called PI, Procurement Integrated Enterprise Environment, is they're super helpful. So all you need to do is call them. I'm going to give you their phone number here in 1 second. Their phone number is 866 618 5988. 866 618 5988. You're going to need a cage code, and I believe you have to have an email address that has your domain. But just call them, ask them. They have trainings on here, all kinds of information for you to get set up. I'm already set up in Pi. I'm unsure if I could ever do a video. I would have to probably use one of my different businesses, maybe. I'm not really sure. But that's the best thing to do. So I'm going to say it one more time. Pi, Procurement Integrated Enterprise Environment. This is a platform that the Department of Defense often uses to pay each and every one of us. We get paid through Pi also. So if you have any questions for them, call them at 866 618 5988. They're super, super, super helpful. I promise you. Because the other thing is there are different opportunities on sam.gov. This is really important, y'all, where they will require that you submit your proposal through the Pi system. So if you're not set up in the Pi system or you see it and you're like, oh my goodness, you're not going to be able to bid. So this is super important, okay? The code location, Sean, it's on your contract. All of the information is on your contract. And that's also one of the benefits of purchasing Pathways to Profits is we go over things like that because one of my team members is the queen of wide area workflow. So just be aware of that. Okay, what other questions y'all have for me tonight? So if you haven't got the book, winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com, definitely check that out. Sean, I'm glad that you asked what you did. Also, Sean, what you may want to do is contact the point of contact for the payment and contact wide area workflow. Because the system, it looks like Tron or something. It looks like something from like 84. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. And Sean knows the system looks antiquated. It's just how things are. And sometimes it's best to just accept it because billions of dollars are at play, right? So this Kizzy Shopping Network, Pathways to Profit, y'all. Pathways to Profit is what this is all about. One of the pathways to profit is making sure that you're set up in wide area workflow, also known as the Pi system. Okay, so I have another offer for you, and this is important. There are several of you who purchased the Jumpstart for $97 and you upgraded. Because you've been so patient with me as I put together your upgrade, you are going to get a 1-hour live Q&A with me, like for real. So these are people who paid $297. You get a whole hour with me because you've been super patient, and I've just been doing a lot of different things, and I just want you to know I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful anytime any of you consume anything, let alone when you take your hard-earned money and you purchase something. That means the world to me. So the least that I can do is just give you as much as possible because you've been patient. So I plan on releasing that this week, and you will get a 1-hour live Q&A. Now, if there's anyone who's like, let's say I set it up for Wednesday at 10 p.m. or something, and you're like, well, Kizzy, I can't make it at Wednesday at 10 p.m. Don't worry. Everyone will receive an email, and you can put all of your questions in there. So if you can't make it, I'm going to record it and then put it inside of the upsell that you purchased. And in case you're wondering, what in the heck are you talking about? Guess what? I have the link for you. So I don't have a link just to the upsell, but this is to the Jump Starter Kit, GovCon Winners Starter Kit, and then the upsell is the Jump Starter Kit. So because everybody's been patient who purchased that upsell, you'll get a 1-hour Q&A with me, ask any and all questions that you desire. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Really appreciate your last book recommendation on beginning the Winner's Way book. Great. Hope you could cover the rules for contracting officers during the sources sought process, or KOs. So the Department of Defense usually calls a contracting officer a KO. Federal side usually says CO, KO. I mean, one and the same for the most part. Okay, you contact them. So what's important is you want to, I call it dialing for dollars. You want to call and email, call and email. You're in essence trying to get in front of the customer so that you can see if they can set it aside to meet your set asides. So pretty much everyone watching this, you're considered a small business. If you're a woman-owned small business, your objective is to get them to try and set it aside as woman-owned or maybe sole source it. And then this is also where potentially a micro purchase may come in. If you already know, hey, this is going to be less than $10,000, then when you call and email them, you can even bring it up. Hey, we've done a lot of work in this area, and based on our history, this is going to come in at less than $10,000. Is there any way you could sole source it to us and just use a credit card and go through micro purchase? So that's how a lot of this works. I have to get my water. Okay, just bear with me for a second, y'all, as I turn around. Okay, the sun is setting. You see how it's getting a little darker? It's a gorgeous sunset. Y'all just got to believe me. It's so beautiful, y'all. So beautiful. Wow, Kizzy looks great. She lost so much weight. Oh, wow, Wayne, you're so sweet. I'm trying. I would like to lose 20 to 30 more pounds. Because when I first started losing weight, I had lost anywhere from 100 to 115, but I had something that losing weight couldn't give me. I still didn't have confidence. I still didn't love myself, and I didn't still trust myself. So as time went on, I ended up gaining weight. I never gained as much as I used to weigh. I weighed almost 300 pounds. I don't have any photos around to easily show you, but don't worry. One day I'm going to release some content. You're going to be like, who is that mushroom face girl? Oh my God, that's Kizzy. So I look like those mushrooms. I don't know their name. Y'all can tell me the name on Mario. I looked like that. My face did. So I ended up getting up to like 236. And so when COVID hit, I actually started working out, losing weight. It's a whole other topic, but I started doing it a little more. And I got to maybe 210, 215, and just kind of went from there. But then I was still stagnant. So I appreciate that you notice. And I've, again, a long way to go, because it's not like the weight. It's not like, oh my God, my scale says this. I've done it. It's more about the fitness. And I love lifting weights. I love being fit. I have a Guinness World Record title for most skips of a rope in flip-flops. So I just love being fit. It's just, there's a chapter in my life where that didn't happen. And most importantly, I love myself. I trust myself. I have lots of confidence. And I'm a different person. So that's part of my journey. I know y'all never expected that, did you? Okay. You're so silly. You're my crush. Oh, you're sweet. Okay. What else? My company placed a bid around April. They haven't made a decision on a winner. Is that normal? Potentially. Call and email them, Rick. My gosh. 777-888. I have this ring light in my face, just in case you're like, I can see y'all. I got contacts in. It's just like, woo. It's like paparazzi. Okay. Hey, what's up? Okay, this is great content. Will you please tell the details about becoming a consultant for government contractors that will do research, etc. Okay, cool. So we'll talk about that. And for those of you just joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. No, this is not some TikTok or Snap filter that I put on here. My camera's, I gotta get a new camera. So I appreciate you all during the replay. We're talking about pathways to profit. And we already talked about getting paid through Writer Workflow. We talked about micro purchases. We talked a little bit about proposals. And so today, pathways to profit is for the big dogs that are like, look, I just want to immediately go in there. So if you want to know everything there is to find, bid, and win profitable government contracts, you want 2 group calls with my team, you want all this content to be available to you for life, it's only $5,000. This is the time to get it. It's pinned. You have it there. If your budget doesn't allow for that, that's okay. because you can go to closecontractsforcash.com, and I'll have that for you in just 1 second. And on here, I have a $7 item. You can also sign up for my upcoming challenge. And what's up, Shanae? Let me give a shout out to Shanae. So Shanae Moray, listen, she's got over 1 million followers on LinkedIn. Y'all need to subscribe. Please follow her and check out her channel. Go to her channel too. Shanae's amazing, because one of the big things in federal government contracting is connecting. Who are you going to partner with? Who are you? Which agency are you particularly interested in? How do you go about finding subcontractors? LinkedIn is a great place, so connect with her. And she does have a challenge. She does have a course. You definitely want to get involved in all that. Okay, so going back to the consultant for government contractors, reaching higher. This is something that, how to put this best? Okay, I've seen and heard others out there talk about this. They've talked about, well, you can easily just be a consultant. Like, you contact a company and they pay you maybe $5,000 and you connect them to this opportunity, and woo, I guess. I mean, again, going back, the thing is this, I don't know anybody who really does this. That doesn't mean that there isn't a need, but you got to hear me out. The contracts that we go after, so for instance, we just won a contract with the Florida National Guard. It's not a massive contract at all. My profit's 20%. I'm happy. I'm super happy. So that wasn't because of a consultant. We're in the middle of looking at, some other opportunities to go after. For those of you just joining, this is Kizzy Shopping Network, talking about pathways to profit. Everything we're here is talking about getting you money. Everything. So check out the pinned item. It's 5,000. I know there's not a lot of information, but I promise you, what you get, you're gonna be like, damn, this is worth more like 30,000. Just letting you know, you can get tons of content, templates for proposals, capability templates. I'm even gonna throw in a free customized capability by my personal designer emojis. Also, you get 2 calls with my team, unlimited access to all this content. Plus, I'm throwing in music. This work music, got videos for you on that. You can watch them, you can listen to them, you're gonna love it. And then the woman who I personally hired and paid her almost $200 an hour to make calls for me, there's all these modules that she's provided, as well as other content on how you set up appointments with the federal government. Because in this space, 3-prong approach is going to lead you to the pathway to profits. That's how this works. So does this mean that as a consultant, this is not a path for you, or people aren't paying for it? It depends on how you set it up. So let me give you an example. When I first started out, there was this gentleman. He was a retired colonel. And so I thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. He's a retired colonel. He wants to work with me. This is great. So the way it worked is, I believe I was to pay him $10,000 a month or something like that. And he was to act as like my business development representative. And his goal was to go out there and get me contracts, right? In air quotes. So I had actually been warned by others in the field. They said, Kizzy, especially as you're starting out, this is a lot of money, and be careful, because these type of people, and this has nothing to do with this person being a colonel. So I'm grateful for his service. I'm just letting you know, sharing the story. But some said people like this, what they do is they represent several companies. So then the government's like, okay, who are you representing today? And I was like, oh my gosh, and 10,000 was a lot to me then. It's still a lot of money, right? It's a huge amount of money. So we came up with a compromise, and it was, if he could get me on a contract as a partner with a big prime, then I would sign his agreement. What do you think happened? If you think that happened, type yes. Put yes in the comments if you think I ended up signing an agreement with him. I'm going to check on here. I'm checking on my phone to see what y'all have. And the sun is still setting. Gosh, it looks so beautiful on here. I know, no. Y'all are right. Wayne, Allen is best. Ask the spammer if they're Prime today. It's like they didn't know and hung up. Yep. No, he couldn't even get me on a team. So it was like, okay, if you're so great, then why weren't you able to get me on a team? This wasn't even a contract. This was just on a team to go after a contract. I was like, I've got myself on teams. So what am I paying for? So it's about, what are they paying for? There are people out there who are paid to look for opportunities, to pipeline, to run what's called capture. So if they know that there's an opportunity with NOAA, then you've potentially helped them identify, here are the players you need to get to know. Here are the subcontractors you should have. Here's a prime you should have a relationship with. So yes, people pay for all of these things that I'm mentioning, but it's about, there has to be a value add there. So ask yourself, what is the value add? What is it? Is it that you're finding opportunities? I don't know. Is it that you're writing the proposals? Who knows? That's the best way to look at it. Because I did once have somebody contact me and they're like, oh, well, I'm here to be a paid consultant for you, in addition to the experience with the Colonel. So this happened maybe, I don't know, 2019. It was like, I think it might have been during COVID. I got this phone call and it's like, oh, I was told I can be this consultant. And I was like, well, what are you going to do for me? And then the person couldn't really answer. And the number one thing, especially for entrepreneurs like myself, we want our time. We pay for time. I love time. My time is so valuable. All of our time is valuable, but like, I can do so much more with my time than fill in the blank. Like, for instance, dialing for dollars. I paid an amazing woman named Sherry. She's available on Upwork. She's almost $200 an hour, and she's amazing. And for those of you who buy Pathways to Profit, instead of having to pay Sherry $200 an hour, you get all of her knowledge, get all these scripts as part of this Pathways to Profit for $5,000. And so I paid Sherry for several months to call a bunch of government agencies on my behalf. And I'm going to pay her to do it again because she's amazing. Why? Because it gave me time. It gave me time. So she set up all the capability briefs. I didn't have to worry about doing it. She did all of that. Okay. So again, for those just joining, watching replay, Dr. Kizzy Park's been awarded over $70 million federal government contracts. This is Kizzy Shopping Network. I'm going to look at more questions here. Okay, you've helped, but I found some more info on where your workflow to check. I had an EB point of contact. It says a call. Right. Sean, you have to have an account in wide area workflow. Okay. Yeah, I would. Yeah. And you definitely want to call, Sean. You want to call on Monday. A prime contractor is the company who has the actual contract. That's who a prime contractor is. You have the contract. For anyone else going through wide area work, okay, got that. I worked with a lot of capture and BD folks in GovCon, and they have to work on one team, not multiple. Well, these are people, WL Long, who were free agents because there was a question about, can you be a consultant? So typically these people are consultants to several companies. So that's what they were doing. In many ways, similar to a marketing company, a social media company, a PR firm. They may be providing PR for both Coke and Pepsi. Why couldn't they? Unless one of them make them have an exclusive arrangement with them, but you could serve both. So, but I totally get what you're saying too, WL Long, because often people who are in business development and capture work for maybe one company. So totally understand. Okay, I'm going to make sure I've gone through all these questions, and also everything by John. Don't forget, I got to connect with somebody who's legitimately in real estate. So I'll let you know. You'll be the first to know. Thank you for your response. Reaching higher of any times. Hello, Aaron Carter 3. For those of you just joining Kizzy Shopping Network, I have the item that's pinned. It's a higher ticket item. It's for those who are like, listen, I'm ready to dig deep. And that will be coming out next month. Next month, all of you who have been patient, who bought the upsell, from the $97 Jumpstart that you all are getting. You're going to get so many free bonuses, and including all of that, you're going to get a 1-hour live Q&A with me because you've been patient as I've put that together. So I appreciate you. And we also have winnerswaybook.com, winnerswaybook.com. You get all of the amazing bonuses. So when it comes to the bonuses, just make sure you sign up on your computer. It's going to be way easier than signing up on your phone. If you sign up on your phone, you're going to run into some issues. Okay. That's some amazing corn on the cob, y'all. I'm going to provide the link here. As I'm doing that, I want to point out some things. There was a question on, okay, how do you know what to charge? The Pathways of Profits is $5,000. What do you charge? What you want to do is look at your expenses, right? You need to identify every single one of your expenses. Every single one of your expenses. Every single one of your expenses. Write it down. Put it on your phone. And those of you just joining too, this is not some kind of theme or filter. My camera's on its last leg, so I know. Thank you all for being patient with me. So you want to list out all of your expenses. Then what you also want to do is get an idea of what has the market paid for in the past. What has the market paid in the past for what you're looking to sell? So for instance, training. In the training world, people will charge anywhere from $500 a day to maybe $10,000 a day. Of course, you have some that charge way more. You have some that maybe somebody charges $400 a day. I don't know. But that's typically the range. So let's say you're looking at painting. So then you can go on sam.gov. You can go to fpds.gov. You can go on GovTribe to see what have agencies paid in the past for painting, as well as some will teach, you go out there, you get 3 quotes, you take the quotes, and yeah, you can do that too. I mean, it provides an idea, and that is part of your expenses. So let's say you find out it's going to be $8,000 for the painting, but then what are the other expenses? You have to pay the person. How are you paying them? If you're paying them through your bank, is there a fee? Do you have to pay a $5 fee to do an ACH? Are there any fees as far as, do you have QuickBooks Online or something? So it's identifying all of that, and then you put your profit on it. The other thing to take in consideration is the evaluation criteria. So if it's lowest cost technically acceptable, then you have to be aware that your profit may not be that high. It might only be 2 or 3%. Because it's about the lowest is going to win. And that is why in the Pathways to Profit, I go over the 3 key things that's pivotal for GovCon winners for you to gain and to get to this point where they know, like, and trust you, so you can charge more. Because the worst situation to be in is where you're charging nominal amount, you're not making any profit. That's not really business. And that's not a situation where you ever want to be in it. Okay. So you can get price quotes, research what has been, what people have charged in the past, and then look at the evaluation criteria, and then you come up with your pricing. Not sure, Gov buys my services. Okay, Ariana, what do you sell? Pathways to Profit, it's $5,000. It includes everything you need to do, everything that's needed to find, bid, and win profitable government contracts. Everything is pre-recorded, though. You're getting my team. So you're getting them live at least twice. Everything's pre-recorded. You're getting templates. You're going to get access to a ton of previous coaching videos. You're getting bonuses of work music. You're getting bonuses of how to set up capability briefs, or to also appointment setting is what is also known. You're getting a whole ton of modules and content on that. You're getting everything. So this is the time. Can a firm with an end cage collaborate with a firm with a cage? Yes. And when you have an NCAGE, you can still register for sam.gov. Just follow their instructions. Okay, so waiting to hear Ariane. Okay, accounting, financial yeah. So they purchase those typically in the form. There's several ways that they purchase them. Training, they'll purchase them in auditing. They also purchase it in staffing. So, for instance, they may say, FICA, they need somebody to come in and audit. So typically they're looking for like an accounting firm to come in and maybe perform some kind of forensic audit. I know at one point in time, the Marines had an opportunity where they need somebody to audit all of their licenses to make sure that they're receiving their residual because the Marines license out their logo. There's other contracts, for instance, FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, they had a contract where it's basically all type of financial labor categories, similar to the one that you just typed. And let's say there's 30 people. And so on that contract, it's 30 people in different financial labor categories who are on site providing these services to FAA. So unless you're really caught unless you're like really big in forensic accounting or things of that nature, typically it wouldn't be you doing the thing, right? Unless maybe you're part of a contract where they really need it, or you're somehow engaged in you're a subcontractor for a bigger company that's doing it. Typically it's going to be, like I said, staffing, training, or if you have the certifications and you would be doing it as a trainer, and then you have the forensic piece. So those are the opportunities I've come across. So yeah, they totally buy it. Trying to see, we have 10 more minutes. And I appreciate, I'm giving myself hearts. Oh my gosh, you guys. You know, I watched so many of these. I'm like, let me just give you a bunch of hearts. Look at that. Hearts, hearts for myself, because I do love myself. I feel like, oh my gosh. James Brown. You know, I kissed myself. Okay, not going to do the splits. No one's going to come in here with a cape. I don't think they are. Okay, no worries. Any other questions that you all have? I know this is a higher ticket item. I just thought, hey, those of you who want to take things to the next level, it's here. For those of you who are like, heck no, I don't want any of that. That's cool too. I have free content here. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Also, if you haven't purchased the starter kit, it's $97. I have new things coming out soon. Okay. So definitely probably after next week, or maybe by next week, because I have the Kizzy Shopping Network every Sunday at 9 p.m. This is the time to ask me questions. This is the time when I'm out here providing a product that's going to take y'all to the next level. I mean, I don't know if you all checked out the interview with Brandon Hendricks. He ended up with a $5 million contract. It was his very first time bidding on a federal contract, and he won. And he accredited a lot of it to my content, what I taught. So, I mean, imagine when you pay. I'm just saying, just saying. Okay. And also, it's cool if you don't too. I love and adore each and every one of you. Thanks a lot for your responses and your up-to-date content. I follow you from Germany. Oh my God, I love that. My cousin lives in Germany, Fiona. She's amazing. Just double checking all of these questions. Okay, if you have any other questions, we got 9 minutes left. 9 minutes here on the what's in the starter kit, Kizzy Shopping Network. In the starter kit, and I'll work on being better, more specific with things. I can tend to be very general. With the starter kit, you get a government contracting starter. You get a checklist. You get a checklist for proposals. You have these videos that I recorded on what you need to do to get started in government contracting. There is some live coaching videos in there too. All of that for $97. All of that. Okay. Any updates? Updates in what sense? Let me know what you mean by updates. Looking to see if there are any more comments. Great. I'm glad you got the starter kit. I may add more. I'm not sure, but it's a great place to get started to make sure that, because what's key is the pathways to profits, you have to have a cage code to prime. Prime means you are the company that holds the contract. You are ultimately responsible for the success of that opportunity, okay? It's you. That's how it works. That's what's key. And so you have to have a cage code. You have to be confident in what you sell. Oh, there's a beautiful interview in there too. Breaks down staffing and just for those in the medical area. And you have to be willing to do what other people aren't doing. So there's a bidding component, there's an outreach component, but it's doing what others aren't doing. And so those are just the fundamentals of government contracting. And it's applying. You learn, you apply it. You also get 3 capability statements, templates for free with the starter kit too. You get a lot. You get a lot. And you don't even need a capability statement to win. Brandon Hendricks didn't. He watched my content and won a $5 million contract with the VA. Let me know where I could order materials from Germany. If the links don't work for you, send me a message, text me, and let me know you're in Germany. 305. Ooh, hold on, let me take it back. Send an email because you may not be able to text. I'll put the email in here. chat@kizzyparks.com. chat@kizzyparks.com. And let me know you're in Germany, so I'm looking out for you. Do you think they will reject it again? Reject what, King? Reject what? I have medical wings and mastectomy prosthetics. Everybody wants to subcontract. Okay, and Rhoda's medical wigs. What I suggest is you look to see, is that something the VA needs? I would look to see if there are any government contractors out there who have won contracts that required this, to see if you could subcontract to them. That's what I would suggest that you do. Okay, so I don't know what reject again means. Okay, well, I don't see anything else. So we're coming to a close. We have about 5 minutes left. What's included? Proposal templates, pricing templates, legal documents, pre-recorded videos, 2 calls with my team, work music videos. Also, you get a ton of videos on how to set up meetings with the federal government. We call them capability briefs. How to set them up, email template to use, phone template to use. Plus, I will have my graphic designer custom create a 1-pager or a capability statement for you. All of that for $5,000. In my first paragraph above. Okay, King, first paragraph above. Okay, I'm looking for a first paragraph above, and all I see is, do you think they will reject it again? Okay, let me keep looking, because I don't really see what is. Yeah, I don't see that. There's no paragraph above. So you got to let me know what you're talking about. Then I can help you. We have 4 minutes. So the other big pathways to profit is you have to bid. Like, I totally get it. Sometimes you open up you go to sam.gov, you get there and you're like, it's 100 pages. Oh my gosh. That's why I have pathways to profit, because I help walk you through how to understand all these documents and what all of this means. And even putting that aside, this is really important for you to understand. Whether you buy Pathways to Profits or you decide to go through YouTube University or whatever approach you take, understanding what an agency is looking for, coming to terms with the rule of 10. If the data was released and the deadline, there's fewer than 10 days between the two, don't respond to it. And as well as knowing how to respond. There's been several who I've come across and they're like, Kizzy, I've worked with this private sector client and I worked with, Walmart and Google, and they start naming off these things. They're like, I worked with all of these companies. I'm like, okay. And they're like, yeah, and I submitted this government proposal and I didn't win. And this was a while ago. I don't do this anymore. Maybe it's something I do offer again. You let me know if this is something you want. Type yes. For those of you who's joining, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks. Been awarded over $70 million federal government contracts. This is Kizzy Shopping Network. Pathways to Profits. The link is pinned. $5,000. This amazing program. So I was like, okay, send it to me. Let me see what you sent. And immediately I could see why the person didn't win, because they didn't follow the instruction. If they say Times New Roman 11, you give them Times New Roman 11, right? If they ask for detailed information about the team, you can't just put, well, I have 3 team members and we've all done this and jumped here and flew here and done this and we're great, and your paragraph is that big. That's not going to fly. Are there some opportunities where all they want is pricing? Of course, but it's understanding how to best to respond. It's no different than clothing. If someone doesn't tell you that they're taking you to a funeral and you're wearing a bright outfit, then you're potentially going to stand out, because in most funerals, people wear black. So it's knowing all of that. I also equate it to like a GPS. If you don't put in an address, then where are you going? You could say, well, Kizzy, I know the city really well. Okay. But what if they decide to do road work like they are here in Michigan and you didn't know the road was closed and you're trying to go Planet Fitness before they close at 7? Anyways, okay. They rejected my POC because of email address and phone number. But my email address was a professional. My phone number is a valid number. Okay. So who is they? I don't know who they is. Is that Wide Array Workflow? Is that IPP? Is that Sam? Who is they? So we got 2 minutes here. At the DLA challenged my application for co-location. I sent them an answer and FCS worked for me. So I just submitted the SAM number and email in my DLA response. I don't know if that's exactly what they meant, King Jada, in your email. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Okay. Alexa be acting up. I do love her. Okay, y'all. So y'all see this is real life. We're at 10. So I'm going to close with this. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. This is my last recording with this camera. I'm really sad because there's other things I wanted to record, but you know what's great in life is you have to let go of the old to bring in the new. And if you want pathways to profit, the same thing goes for you. If there's things that you're holding on to, oh, I can't do it, oh, I need more work, or I need more time, I need to learn more, buying the Pathways to Profit is a perfect way to do that. The link is pinned. Or you want to get winnerswaybook.com, check it out. You want the $97 starter kit, check it out. You can go to Close Contracts for Cash, check it out. Whatever the approach that you take, what's key is that you're learning and applying as you go. So in terms of the question from you, King Jada, if you received an email where in the email it talks about your email address, your phone number, your that, they may not be saying that there's a problem with your email and phone number, because I had somebody go through my challenge that had something similar. It's about just addressing what the real issue is. So without seeing it, it's hard for me to answer. So I'm going to put the link to my Facebook group here. So what I suggest that you do is, if you're not a member, join the Facebook group and put a copy of the email as a post so we can take a look. I say we because many members answer questions. And keep in mind, y'all, this is serious. When you join my Facebook group, there are active contracting officers in there. So just be mindful. That's all. Just be mindful. Okay. So join the Facebook group so we can post it in there so we can take a look. I mean, I know you said you already responded, but so we can take a look. It's there. I think that's everything. Okay, great. Y'all are amazing. Please hit like, please share. Anything else whatever you would like for me to talk about in the future, let me know on my other, my long form videos that come out. So until next time, y'all are amazing. Kizzy Shopping Network, Pathways to Profit, check that out. Because at the end of the day, it boils down to sales. If you're not selling, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell y'all. Okay. Y'all are amazing. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much, SPC. Till next time, everything is possible. I'm going to end here. I got to turn around because oh my gosh, this looks nuts on here. Y'all are so amazing. Y'all are so sweet. And I want to thank you personally, my Sony A6400. We've had many years together. So grateful. Grateful to each and every one of you, okay? Keep winning. Keep going after contracts. Don't give up. This is a mega, mega race, y'all. Signing off, Kizzy Shopping Network. winnersweightbook.com. Dr. Kizzy Parks been awarded over $70 million. More is to come in government contracts. Bye, y'all.